Different location, same destination. This is episode 3 of High on Sports. Today we have Daron Pearson is back, and we're going to discuss and give our NBA playoff predictions, as well as a bit of who we want to be MVP. And also we dive into UFL Week 3, and I give my underdog dog of that. And finally, we dive into our second anime of the week, Solo Leveling. I'm excited to share that anime with you guys. It's probably one of the best that I watched so far in 2024. And you already know, the news is packed, and I got the lighter. Let's get high. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is High on Sports, episode 3. I'm back with Daron Pearson. Daron, you want to introduce yourself to the folks one more time? Who wasn't here last week?
My name is Daron Pearson. So I play semi-pro basketball for the Roseville Blue Demons, and just here again to talk about sports like everybody like to do.
Speaking of sports, we're gonna finally get into the NBA for the first time in this show. So, going for that, we're gonna jump into the first round. Round 1. East. We're gonna be starting in the East.
East, okay.
I got Celtics and Bulls. I have the Celtics beating the Bulls 4-0. What about you?
I would say just off. Let me think about it before I even say that. You know what? I'm gonna agree. I'm gonna say Celtics in 4. Easy. Nice little sweep.
Nice little sweep. So we both got the Celtics in 4. Me, in terms of the rest of the East, I got the Knicks and the 76ers. I think that's going to be a good 7-game series. I think it's going to be probably the best series of the playoffs. It's going to be very entertaining because I think the 76ers can beat the Knicks with a healthy Embiid. I think they really can. But the Knicks, they ain't no slouch.
That's true.
They're not no slouch. Jalen Brunson is probably one of the clutchest players in the fourth quarter this season. And it hurts me that they're not fully healthy because I would love to see what Julius Randle would did on his team, even though he has a historic perception of not showing up in the playoffs himself. But I just feel like this year was a different look for the Knicks team. But nonetheless, I got that series 4-3. Knicks put it out in Game 7.
To piggyback off what you said about Julius Randle. Since they don't have Julius Randle, I have the Sixers winning in 6.
You got the Sixers winning in 6. Can
you
elaborate on that?
I feel like, Joe, okay, so with the Knicks not having Julius Randle, your second best player is Steven Chinzo.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like if Maxey shows up the way he can, I'm not going to say match Brunson, but he can almost match Brunson.
Right.
And then you throw the big man in and B, each and every single game, he's getting his legs back, he's getting healthier, he's getting stronger, he's getting back to that MVP type of caliber player that he was before the injury. Mm-hmm. So I say you mix that in with Batum, how he looked, Tobias Harris, the supporting cast, with the coaching. I honestly just picked the Sixers. I feel like who's going to stop Embiid?
Okay.
The 7'2" monster, MVP. Last season would have been MVP this year, but that's my pick.
Gotcha. All right, moving down the list, we have Bucks and the Pacers. Now, the Bucks, man, they had a weird season. I literally thought this was going to be the automatic chip team. That's first. Dame, Giannis, I'm like, on the same team? Yes, they lost some pieces, but it's Dame and Giannis on the same team. And they're going against the Pacers, a team who they struggled against in the regular season. And if I'm not mistaken, and correct me if I'm wrong from the comments, please, it's 3-1 in the regular season. Yes. Against Indiana, yes. And you want to include the play-in, not the play-in, but the little tournament they had during the season, the in-season tournament, they beat them there too.
Yeah.
And it just boggles me how the Bucks, and this is their second coach. They already fired their coach during the season. Now they got Doc Rivers, and I thought it was a bad move to begin in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
So we're not even going to get into all that, but yes, it's not working out how people thought it was going to be. And I'm afraid that it's going to be a first round exit before the Bulls, because I got them losing to the Pacers 4-2. I got them losing to the Pacers 4-2. I think this is the team that they cannot handle. Giannis I got some type of nagging injury. I don't know if we're going to keep him out for the first round. We're going to see. And Dame is, like, I think you told me yesterday when we was talking off camera, you said Dame is unhappy, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, man, I really don't think I really got the Pacers advancing. Unfortunately, it's going to be 2-4, and Bucks going to have some questions in the offseason.
I would say, okay, so if Giannis can be healthy, or 70% of what he is, if Dame can be right mentally, the supporting cast can be right mentally, if Doc Rivers' preparation for the team can be the way it need to be for the playoffs, I would have the Bucks coming out in 5, personally, because playoff Dame time, Halliburton is a good player, but he's not Dame. If Giannis is 70%, who's going to stop him? Brook Lopez averaging, I think it's 2.5 blocks.
Mm-hmm.
Bobby Portis. If Chris Middleton is the key factor, though, Middleton can play a prestige part on them for the Bucks. That's the X factor. That's going to put him over the top. So that would be my pick. 4 games to 1.
Okay.
Bucks.
Okay. So I think that's the only, that's a couple we disagreed on. But moving on, 4-5 in the Magic. You already know, historically, 4 or 5's always going to be the most entertaining. This because they're the closest seed, they're the closest to each other. And this one, we got the Cavaliers and the Magic, who are back in the playoffs for the first time for a while. I couldn't tell you the exact date right now, but for a while. And I got this game 4-2 Cavaliers. I just feel like some more experience, that does matter in the playoffs.
It does.
Like, it really does. And the Magic, I just feel like they got there. They gonna love that they got there, but they might even just need a game or 2 on the Cavaliers. I just don't think they just have ready right now at this instant, because I think they're gonna make some moves in the offseason, especially because, like, who doesn't want to go to Orlando?
True.
We want to go to Orlando, but as far as right now, this playoffs, I just think, Donovan Mitchell and them boys are going to be too much for him.
So, that is true. Like you said, experience. And sometimes a lot of times experience is good. But I feel like with Orlando, Pablo Banchero and them boys, they playing with free house money. So I would say, honestly, from what I've seen from the Cavs, yes, as a playoff team, I just see the upside and with the Knicks. I'm sorry, not the Knicks. The Magic potential. Playing with house money, Pablo and them boys, I think I would personally pick Orlando in 7.
Orlando in 7?
Orlando in 7.
Man, so pretty much in the first round, we only got the Celtics beating the Bulls. That's what we agreed on. Okay. I'm interested to see what your finals matchup is going to be. But heading to the second round. So as for me, this is how my second round is. We got the Celtics and the Cavs and the Knicks and the Pacers. Now, for us, like I said, your second round different from my second round. But as far as the Celtics and the Cavs, I got 4-1. Because, one, the Cavaliers they're just not better. They're just not, like, the Celtics have proven in the regular season that they're way much better than the East. And I think that's just going to show in the playoffs. I truly do think that's going to show in the playoffs. And I just think the Cavaliers, they're just not there in terms of a team to beat the Celtics. Now, the Knicks and the Pacers, they had a little feel-good run against the Bucks, but I think it's going to be a little smack in reality for them. Okay. I got the Knicks beating the Pacers. I think it's going to be a clean sweep, 4-0, because the Pacers' defense is atrocious. Atrocious. And I just think the Knicks defense is going to be too much for them. And in my Eastern Conference Finals matchup, I got Celtics and the Knicks 4-3.
7.
Yeah, I got that going a full 7 games. Like I said, I think this is the Knicks' best chance to probably make the finals. I can see them possibly beating the Celtics, but like I said, I think the Celtics are they got too many growing pains from the finals and Eastern Conference Finals. They got too many growing pains in that. So I think this is going to be the year that they truly get over that hump in the Game 7. And yeah, I think they're going to beat the Knicks. So what about your Eastern Conference? What are they looking like?
So I have, of course, the Celtics. The Celtics will be playing the Magic in the Eastern Conference Finals.
Okay.
I would say that's going to be a 4-0 sweep. In my predictions, I would say for my the Bucks versus the Sixers.
Yeah.
I would have to say I see the Bucks winning in 6. And for my Eastern Conference Finals, I have the Celtics versus the Bucks.
Yeah.
And I would say the Celtics are going to win in 5 because I feel like the Celtics, with the experience, the supporting cast, this year alone, Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown don't have to solely do it just themselves. You have Kristaps Porzingis. Yep. You can bring in Al Horford, mix it up. Mm-hmm. You have Derek White, Jrue Holiday. Yep. And on any given game, Kristaps can go for 30 and 10. Yep. Jrue Holiday can go for 20 and 10. Mm-hmm. As you've seen last year in the playoffs with Derek White, that game winner, to send it to Game 7 against the Miami Heat. Mm-hmm. So it's a lot of key factors that I feel like is just going to prevail them to the top.
All right. So you got the Celtics coming out of the East. I got the Celtics coming out of the East, but just in very different ways. So moving on to the West, man. We got first round matchup. We both said the Kings gonna come out the 8th seed. So we got the Thunder versus the Kings. I got that being 4-2. I think that the Thunder will at least win one series in this playoffs, but I think it's not gonna be it after that. But like I said, I think the Kings are a good matchup for them. It's kind of similarity. Both teams are kind of small in size, but Thunder does have efficient defense, and I think that's going to be what prevails them overall in this series right here.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a good matchup. I would say I have the Thunder winning in 6 as well. I feel like, of course, the Kings can get a game or two when you have De'Aaron Fox, Sabonis, a triple-double machine. You know, Fox can go tit for tat with SGA, of course, but SGA being an MVP candidate, Chat Holmgren in the middle. Mm-hmm. You got Jalen. I feel like just overall, the team itself is just going to show that they're just better than the Kings. Yep. It may not be because of experience, but just talent-wise overall. When you have that guy, which is SGA, what can you do?
Exactly, brother. I agree. Now, this is one thing I think that might make you chuckle. Nuggets versus the Lakers. Now, I'm a LeBron fan, so I'm a Laker fan right now. Now, this is like truly me thinking. I believe the Lakers are going to beat the Nuggets, possibly in a 3-game series. In a 7-game series. But I don't want it to go 7 games. I don't think we're going to beat the Nuggets at home in Game 7. I don't think so. So I would rather this go to a 6-game series where we got the chance to win in our home building. Mm-hmm. And I really think they're going to get it done and beat the Nuggets. I really think we're going to shock everybody and beat the Nuggets, bro. Because LeBron and AD, they have been cooking for this for a while. In the last 10 or so games, they said they got something planned. And I believe when they said they got something planned for them. So as far as this matchup, yes, they are defending champs. And yes, it's going to be tough. And yes, I might be wrong in this pick. But I got the Lakers moving on after 6.
So I said in 6 games. I do have the Lakers winning. But is it going to be 6 or is it going to be 7? Realistically, I would say I have the Lakers winning in 6. The same reason for you, because if it goes to 7, they're not going to win. But I feel like the key factor is whatever Joker does, AD has to match. And AD is capable. Yes. You're not going to stop Joker. But can he stop AD? Exactly. No. And if AD can play on par with what Joker is doing, LeBron is better. LeBron can produce more than what Jamal Murray can do. Mm-hmm. So then it comes to the supporting cast. If D'Lo can carry over from the regular season into the playoffs, AR-15, Austin Reeves can carry over his production. Rui Hachimura, can you just come in and give us 10 points, play excellent defense? And most important, that I think is with the Lakers coaching, put them in position to execute, put them in position to make plays, put them in position to give you easier buckets. And Darvin Ham also has to just create something to, you're not going to stop Joker, but to contain him and not just let him do what he, don't let him dictate the game.
Mm-hmm.
Put it that way. So I have Lakers in 6. So that'll be my prediction for that series.
All right, moving down the list, baby. We got Timberwolves and the Suns. It's going to be a very another entertaining matchup series. This is
tough.
This is tough, man, because do we really think the Suns are going to turn it on at the right time and just start cooking?
That's tough.
Me personally, in this series, I'm going to say hell no. Hell to the HGW double each hockey sticks, no. And let me tell you why. Timberwolves better defensively and better offensively. And I really think that my man's I can't even think of his name right now. Ant-Man. I'm sorry, Ant-Man, for disrespecting you like that. But I really cannot, believe, this is his year, bro. This is his year. I hate to say it, but I think this is his year to make some noise and prove he is going to be the face of the league in terms of American face. In terms of the American face, I think he's going to be the American face of the league after LeBron's, get done with basketball. But keeping in touch with this series, Timberwolves versus Suns. Like I said, I got 7. I think it's going to be very competitive. KD might even go for 51 game. Book might even go for 51 game. Bradley Beal might even go for 51 game. But again, I just think that Timberwolves defense is just going to be more than capable of handling that Suns offense. So I got the Timberwolves in 7.
So for that series, I have Phoenix in 6. So if Karl Anthony Towns, he may be back, he may not be. But if he is, I think that may alter, I may say Phoenix in 7. But I just feel like Ant-Man is amazing, don't get me wrong. But you got Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, Bradley Beal. If they can elevate their games to what we've seen them do and they can know that they can still do, it's like he said before, KD, you know who I am. Mm-hmm. And we know who he is. So I think KD and Devin Booker and the boys is going to send to a different level of play. Mm-hmm. And I have Phoenix in 6.
Okay. Last one, the first round, the West, we got Clippers and Mavs. Again, man, the West is going to be so fun to watch in the first round because, man, this is another one that I got going 7 games.
Yeah.
Because the Clippers and the Mavericks, we already know they had history before. They had history plenty of times before, I think it also went 6 or 7 games for the most part. Mm-hmm. And I think this one's going to be the same. He got Kyrie now, so he got a partner that can put up 25 with him, and he put up 50. You feel me? He got somebody that can do that. And the Clippers, they pretty much just a veteran team. They got Paul George, James Harden, Russell Westbrook, Kawhi Leonard, pretty much just a veteran team, and do I think it would be enough to beat the Mavericks? I hate to say yes. Bro. I hate to say yes, but do I think it can easily be switched around? Of course. But I truly believe this series is going to 7 games. This series is going to 7 games, and I got the Clippers and their new home building that they got. I got them win the playoff series. So, let's see what you think about that.
I have it going 7 as well, but I have the Mavs winning. I would say the reason that I have it is I look at the past 2 series, 6 games, 7 games. Just Luka himself. For some reason, when Luka plays the Clippers, his antennas fall off. He just goes crazy. And you add on Kyrie Irving, a happy Kyrie Irving, a determined Kyrie Irving, a focused Kyrie Irving.
Yeah.
You add the two key pieces, PJ Washington, the big man in the middle.
Yep.
I feel like, it's going to be a hard-fought series, but I feel like we have the 2 best players on the other side So I would have to go with the Mavericks.
Okay. Like I said, the first round in the West is gonna be fun to watch. Be sure you watch the playoffs. If I believe should be in about a couple more days the playoffs to start, right?
Yeah.
I think it's like
the last
April something, like
what,
April
the last
18th, 19th, something like that.
play-in games, and then right after that,
Yeah.
the Lakers, they have a week off from now. So yeah, next week,
All right, moving down the West though. We in the semifinals. Now, mines have the Thunder and the Clippers in round two. Thunder, in terms of this matchup, I got the Clippers winning 2-4. Because like I said, I just think the experience is going to eventually get to the Thunder, and the Clippers they just know how to win basketball. When they are right, the Clippers know how to win basketball games. So I got them coming out of that series. Now the Timberwolves and the Lakers would be the next one, and I got the Lakers coming out of that one because again, I just think experience is just going to conquer the young guys in the semifinals. I hate to say it, but it's true. And lo and behold, we're going to finally get what we should have had ever since Kawhi came to the Clippers, a LA Conference Finals. And I got the Clippers and the Lakers in the Western Conference Finals. And of course, I got them Lakers, man. Beating the Clippers. You know we don't lose to little bro.
In six.
Especially when it's in six.
In six.
Especially when it's time to ball out. Now, we're going to speak into our finals matchup in a bit, but I want to hear about your Western Conference and how that's going to turn out.
Alrighty. Okay. So I have the Thunder playing the Mavericks.
In the semifinals?
In the semifinals. But I say the Mavericks are going to win in 6. When you have Luka is a number one in first half points, Kyrie is number one in fourth quarter points.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like when it comes in crunch time, that's when the stars show. And they have SGA, but Luka and Kyrie is more than capable enough of overcoming what SGA can do.
Right.
I have the Lakers facing off against Phoenix for my other semifinals matchup, and I got the Lakers winning in 7. Okay. Because when KD plays LeBron, I don't know. KD just, the opportunity to play against LeBron, he shows up. And Devin Booker, of course, is going to show. But I feel like the X factor is AD. Who's going to stop AD?
There you go.
If AD can be a monster like AD, we know AD can do, 35, 12, and maybe 4, he's going to give you the blocks. He always plays defense. So I feel like that's the X factor.
Yeah.
And then I have in the Western Conference Finals, Kyrie Irving and the Mavericks versus LeBron James and the Lakers. And that right there is a series that I would ultimately have the Mavericks coming out in 7. And I would say 7 is because Luka and the boys is hungry. Not going to stop AD, but with the big man in the middle, can we kind of throw him off? Maybe. You know, it can easily be flipped. But I have the Mavs in 7 in the Western Conference against the Lakers.
Okay. So, now we're getting down to our finals. I have Celtics and Lakers, and you have...
I have the Celtics playing the Dallas Mavericks.
Okay. So, I'm going to get into mine, and you're going to get into yours.
Gotcha.
So, Celtics versus Lakers, finals matchup. You already know history about this. You know, they played each other many times before we was even born. Exactly. Yada, yada, yada. But I told you yesterday, I said this Celtics team is literally the best team that they probably assembled under Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. So, as much as I love LeBron, as much I want him to get this 5th ring, to shut all the MJ haters up, as much as I want him to do that, I think that him just going to the finals is enough. And I got the Celtics pulling this series out, 7 games, 4 games to 3.
And 7.
And 7. And 7. And why? Because as I said, I think the Celtics They literally assembled this team to get over the hump. And I think this time they're going to get up on it. I think Drew Holiday brings that. Christoph Porzingis, they bring that. I know Jason Tatum is a veteran, but that veteran on top of veteran. You feel me? And they bring that presence. So when things do get hectic, you're like, hey man, are we still in this game? We can do this. I've been through this before.
Exactly.
You feel me? I've been through this. It's okay. It's just one game. We're gonna win the next one.
Yep.
So this is me. I got Celtics, Lakers. Celtics gonna be the 2024 NBA champions.
Okay. I have my prediction is the Mavericks facing the Celtics, and to piggyback off what you said, having Drew Holiday and those veterans. In past years, when Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, it's iso ball.
Mm-hmm.
You have a point guard now where you can, JT, put your back to the basket, post up. Drew Holiday, I'm going to get you the ball. You have Porzingis, okay, you post up. If all else fails, dump it down to the big man.
Exactly.
And I have the Celtics winning against the Mavericks in 6. Overall, the Celtics is just heads and shoulders above any other team in the league. And I just feel like this is just the year for JT to ascend, and my pick for the face of the NBA in the nearest future.
Okay.
So Celtics in 6, and 2024 Finals, and 2024 Finals NBA MVP Jason Tatum.
Jason Tatum.
Who would you have for your Finals MVP?
For my Finals MVP, I got the Celtics winning. I think it's going to have to be Tatum.
Okay, Tatum.
It's going to have to be Tatum because I really don't personally see anybody. Maybe Jaylen Brown, but it's Tatum's team. So I know when it's time to really get some points on the board, I know Tatum going to take that shot. You feel me?
Gotcha.
I know Tatum going to take that shot. So I got Tatum and being the Finals MVP. It can be a toss up. They gave it to Iguodala just for locking up LeBron.
Right,
so who knows? They might give it to Drew Holiday just for locking up LeBron.
That's true.
But
that's true.
Realistically, yes, I agree with you, Jason Tatum, for final conference MVP. In week 3 of the UFL, teams are starting to find their footing, and the QBs are starting to pick up their play. No QB was better this week than Adrian Martinez. The Stallions made him the full starter this week, and he did not disappoint. He went 18 for 28 for over 300 yards and 2 TDs. His favorite target was Deion Kane this week, underdog dog, who caught 7 balls for 177 yards, leading the league in yards with 240. The game itself was not competitive. The Stallions' pass rush was too much for the Showboats, sacking both Cookies and Williams for a combined 7 times. We now head to Michigan, even though I'm here already. The Panthers had a huge 22-point third quarter, and the Roughnecks again look incontinent on offense. E.J. Perry finishes the day with only 3 passes. He also led his team on the ground with 60 yards and 2 touchdowns. The final score of this game was 20-34. Brahma still lost to the Battlehawks, even though they ran 20 plus more plays than them. The Battlehawks did average almost 6 yards per play compared to the Brahmas 4, so it makes sense why they lost. But the scorecard doesn't do the game justice. Not watching, you would think this was a nail biter, but if you watch like me, you know the real. Battlehawks was on cruise control. They did have some scare moments, but keep the damn ball in AJ hands. And the Battlehawks are now 2-1 of the season. And finally, the only game worth a damn this week, DC Defenders versus Renegades. DC once again had to become fourth-quarter warriors. Arlington's James Tyler Vaughns had a good game, catching 9 balls for over 100 yards and a touchdown. Going into the fourth, Lindsey Scott Jr. runs for a TD, followed by a 3-point field goal. On their next drive to give the Renegades a 10-point lead, but the Defenders was in the same situation they was last week and came out on top. It seemed fortune favors the bold, as Jordan Tayambu continues to play his best ball in the fourth quarter, as he led his team to kick a game-winning field goal, and the kick is good by McCrane for 49 yards out. DC wins 29-28. Solo Leveling is an anime adapted for Churgung's web novel with the same name. A quick synopsis before I dive into the season. 10 years ago, the Gate appeared and connected the real world to a realm of magic and monsters. This is not a good thing because, obviously, monsters. To combat these monsters, humanity received superhuman powers and became hunters. Sun Ji-woo, the main character, is a hunter, and he is known as the weakest hunter in the world. his rank is an E. And the rankings are from S, A, B, C, D, S being the best, and E being the worst. A hunter's rank is marked the day they are born. Whether it's an A or a D, they cannot change their ranking. And no amount of training will upgrade their rankings. So our main man is basically the E till he dies. Literally. But we're about to get into that. Spoiler warning if you have not watched the show. But let's get into it. Episode 1, 2, Death. My favorite episode of this show is the first. We begin 3 years ago on Jeju Island, where we meet S-rank hunters Min Byung-gu, Yu Sink, Boyok Yeonhu saving other hunters and who are overrun by essentially giant ants. Nearby Chon Joyin is in a battle of his own. It's unknown how the battle ends at this point in the series. However, we jump forward to the present where we meet our MC, Sun Jin-woo, and 7 other hunters meet at a construction site preparing to enter a D-rank gate. Why are they entering this gate? Because if you beat the boss of the gate, you will receive treasures and also their monocrystals that are valuable and can be used to make armor and weapons. Jinwoo's why is because so he can afford his mother's medical bills. I forgot to mention that the gates are ranked as well. While the team battles goblins and a wolfman, Jinwoo kills the goblin but also got stabbed pretty badly. Lee Johei, a B-rank healer, and his friend stitches him up. Sun Ji-woo, the 10 leader, defeats the wolfman, but the gate didn't close. They were in a double dungeon, and after a group vote, they walked for 40 minutes until they discovered a giant door. They entered, and there they are, and there are giant statues everywhere. Johei notices the biggest one is watching them. Out of nowhere, the door shuts, and a team member panics and attempts to leave. But as he reaches the door, a statue guarding the door smashes half his body off. Jinwoo Deer realizes they're all going to die. And that's how episode 1 ends. Episode 2, a whole lot of crazy shit happens. Too much, and I don't want this segment to be too long, but only 6 survive, and Jinwoo was ultimately the last one left. But the statues were still stabbing and bludgeoning him to the brink. As the statues prepare to kill him, an interface appears in Jinwoo's mind, asking him to either become a player or die. And of course, Jinwoo accepts. Episode 3 through 6, solo leveling. Jinwoo wakes up in the hospital. We learn the other survivors were traumatized and quit being hunters. Jinwoo realizes his new powers and interfaces like a game. Although his rank is still E officially, he can still upgrade and add skills and replenish his health and fatigue. We see Jinwoo train and fight monsters to level up. Then episode 5, we're introduced to Han Donsuk and Yeon Jinho. Turns out Donsuk is the brother of Hwang, Donsuk Hwang, and S-rank under. Unfortunately, his brother was a murderer and eventually got his head cut off by Jinwoo. Episode 7 through 12, no more solo leveling. Jinwoo intensifies his training, fighting stronger monsters. But episode 8, the survivors from the statue massacre agreed to take on a D-rank gate. They are joined by King Taishik and his men. Spoiler alert, he murders 2 other survivors not named Johei and Chiyu. Jinwoo kills the man by using his new skill, murdering intent, and stabs him in the heart. Jinwoo and Junho start taking down Sin Race together, helping Jinwoo establish a hunter guild and Jinwoo level up. But we enter episode 11 and Jinwoo receives a job change request after leveling up to 40. He immediately battled this night, but they start coming one after the other. Even after majors, despite being fatigued, he presses on and another night appears. But this one is spread, so it's special. They fight in what was the best fight of the season, and Jinwoo stabs him using all his strength to pierce that armor and kills Igrish the Blood Red. But it's not over. The actual quest begins now, and the portals start opening, revealing more knights on the way to kill Jinwoo. A penalty bails him out temporarily, but he is brought back and figures out the portals are being controlled by the mages. He kills the mages and finally receives the class Necromancer. But you can call him a Shadow Monarch, which is a class above. He now has a Shadow Army, and even Knight Commander Igris is under his command. Finally, we also learned that the hunters are preparing to return to Jeju Island. My ranking is 10 out of 10. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I have no comments for Quest today. I'm Frederikus Perry, and this session is over.